It's time to talk about new spring releases. As you may know, I'm very much looking forward to spring, so I'm very happy to be talking about new releases. I consider the months of March, April and May to be spring, and I'll be talking about books that I'm interested in that will be released during these months. Let's start off with 3 books for March. The first book is Whitby by T. Kyra Madden. Let me read you a bit from the blurb. Birdie Chang didn't know anything about Whidbey Island when she chose it, only that it was about as far away as she could get from her own life. She's a woman on the run, desperate for an escape from the headlines back home and the look of concern in her girlfriend's eyes, and from Calvin Boyer, the man who abused her as a child and who's now resurfaced. On her way, she has an unnerving encounter with a stranger on the ferry who offers her a proposition, a sinister solution, a plan for revenge. This seems very interesting. It is apparently a debut novel, but one that a lot of people seem to be looking forward to, and I'm intrigued as well. It might be like a revenge story. It is going to happen on an island, and I'm always a sucker for like island locations anyway. So I'm very interested in this one. It seems quite dark and very suspenseful. So I'm very curious to discover what Birdie's story actually is. Next we have After the Fall by Edward Ashton. Would humans really make great pets? Humans must be silent, humans must be obedient, humans must be good. All his life, John has tried to live by those rules. Most days it's not too difficult. 120 years after the fall and 100 years after the Greys swept in to pick the last dregs of humanity out of the wreckage of a ruined world, John has found himself bonded to Martok Barden Nee Blackhand, one of the good Greys. Sure, Martok is broke, homeless, and borderline manic, but he's always treated John like an actual person, and sometimes like a friend. It's a better deal than most humans get. I was immediately intrigued by this one because this is like the kind of dystopia thing that I like, these kind of ideas. This one about animals having taken over and humans being the pets now. It is giving a bit like Planet of the Apes maybe, because of the concept, but I am really curious as to how this one will be worked out. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. Then there's Inamorata by Ava Reid, a visionary and atmospheric gothic fantasy about necromancy, vengeance and soul-consuming love, the first in a duology. So expecting another book like next year maybe. Once there was an island where the dead walked the earth, and 7 noble houses ruled by the arcane secrets of necromancy. A conqueror's blade brought them low, burning their libraries, killing their lords, and extinguishing their eldritch magic. But defiant against the new orders that stands the House of Teeth and its last living members, beautiful Marozia, the heiress to the house, and her cousin, the uncanny Lady Agnes. Though she has not spoken a word in 7 years, Agnes is the true carrier of the house's legacy, and she has her orders. She must recapture the secrets of death magic and avenge her family's fallen honor. She must arrange the betrothal of her beloved cousin Marozia to Liuprant, heir to the Conqueror's throne, for access to the Forbidden Library in his grotesquely grand castle. Okay, so the main reason I want to read this book is because it's a new Ava Reid book. The content I'm not that sure about, although I love a good gothic castle, and, you know, fighting against evil powers trying to take over is always interesting to read about. It's always fun. Now, I wanted to read all the books by Ava Reid anyway. I'm still working on that. It's an ongoing process, but I'll get there eventually, hopefully. Now, this one in particular, I am a bit skeptic about. Necromancy is not necessarily my cup of tea. But I do like the way that Ava Reid can write. It's the reason I want to read all her books. It's because she can write really well. But I am still looking for the perfect Ava Reid book, because always I have this difficulty with her that either her books are written really beautifully, but they do not have an impact on me, or she is trying to get closer to the reader, but she is losing some of that beautiful language that she is using. So hopefully this is the Ava Reid book that I am actually looking for. Moving into April, I also have 3 books to talk about. The first one is The Book Witch by Meg Shaffer. Now I'm quite excited about this one because I read both of Meg Shaffer's previous books. I read both The Lost Story and The Wishing Game. And I liked both of those. Those are like very much children's stories, I would say, but they are a bit more grown up, but they have all these childlike premises, all these things that would interest you. They usually kind of remind me a bit of like Roald Dahl because of that feel. But they are dreamy and they have fantasy elements to them. And yes, I'm quite looking forward to what she has done with this one. Now she took a little more time because I think that between her first and her second book, there wasn't that much time, and it might have shown a bit, although I still like that book a lot. But I'm curious about The Book Witch, so I'll tell you what it is about. Rainy March is a proud third-generation book witch, sworn to defend works of fiction from all foes, real and imaginary. With her magical umbrella and feline familiar, she jumps into and out of novels to fix malicious alterations and rogue heroes. Book witches live by a strict real people belong in the real world, fictional characters belong in works of fiction. Do not eat, drink or sleep inside a fictional world lest you become part of the story. Falling in love with a fictional character? Don't even think about it. Oh, I love this so much already. So I gather from this that this book witch goes into stories and that she tries to fix things that are wrong or that have to be changed, but she cannot stay inside the story or she becomes part of it. I absolutely love that idea. So yeah, definitely that one. The next book is The Faraway Inn by Sarah Beth Durst. Now Sarah Beth Durst is very much in her cozy fantasy era, I'd say. I still have to read another type of Sarah Beth Durst book, but I know that she wrote like thrillers and other books and other kinds of books. But I have read The Spell Shop by her and The Enchanted Greenhouse. But both of those books are in the same universe, and this is a standalone book. This is not in that same universe. 16-year-old Calissa is desperate for a change of scenery after her lying ex ruins her perfect Brooklyn summer. When her parents suggest she head to rural Vermont to help her great aunt run her cozy bed and breakfast for a few months, she jumps at the chance. But when Calissa arrives at the B&B, she is shocked to find a rundown inn with only a handful of guests. And to make matters worse, upon meeting with her great aunt, it quickly becomes clear that Calissa was not invited. Auntie Z is determined to keep anyone from messing with her beloved inn, even if it is clear she needs the help. To earn her keep, Calissa sets to work fixing up the inn, enlisting extra help from the groundkeeper's handsome son. But the longer she stays, the more it becomes evident that there is something strange about B&B and its residents, something almost otherworldly. Well, I am a fan of a magical mystery. And book number 3 for April is The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark. Now, Evelyn Clark apparently is a combination of names because this book is written by 2 authors, namely Kat Clark and V.E. Schwab. And they have cooperated to write a mystery novel. So here's what it's about. Arthur Fletch, one of the world's best-selling novelists, is a reclusive genius known for his iconic protagonists and fiendish twists. When 6 struggling authors are invited to spend a weekend on his private Scottish island, they arrive to discover a shocking secret. Arthur Fletch is dead, and his last book is unfinished. Desperate to publish the novel, Fletch's agent and editor have summoned these writers in the hope that one of them will imagine a worthy ending for this final book. To sweeten the deal, they are offering an irresistible price. In addition to ghostwriting the last chapter for a mind-boggling sum, they will also help the lucky writers successfully relaunch their own career, guaranteeing future bestsellers. The catch? The writers have just 72 hours to finish Fletch's magnum opus. So I'm getting a bit of an And Then There Were None feel by Agatha Christie, because they gather on this island, a fixed number of people is gathering on this island, and the supposed host isn't there. In this case, he died. But here they changed it a bit, and these people have to find a good ending to this novel that this person was writing. And they are set up against each other, not only for money, but also for fame. So yeah, I think this might be a very interesting book to read. Now for May, I already pre-ordered 4 books, so I'll talk about those. The first one is Enormous Wings by Laurie Frankel. Let me read you what it's about. At 77, Pepper Mills is too old to be a stranger in a strange land. She didn't choose the Vista View retirement community of Austin, Texas. That would be her 3 grown children. But when she grudgingly moves in, she not only makes new friends, she falls in love. Then the exhaustion, vomiting, and confusion start. Her children and grandchildren worry it's cancer, dementia, a stroke. But a raft of tests later, the news is even more. She's pregnant. Once word gets out, everyone wants a piece of the press and the paparazzi, activists and medical researchers, all descending on Vista View as Pepper tries to determine her next move. Soon Pepper has some hard decisions to make, and some she's not allowed to make. So this one seems really interesting to me because we are talking about pregnancy at an older age. And I know that a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about that concept. So I'm wondering how this subject will be tackled in the book, because I do think that it will make for some really emotional content if it is done right, and I do think it will be done right. Well, I hope so at least. So yeah, this one seemed interesting. The next book that I'm getting is Platform Decay by Martha Wells. Now this one is actually the 8th book in the Murderbot series, which I still have to read. So I know this might be an issue, but I have these 7 other books over here somewhere. And as you might know, I'm doing my year of series, and it might be possible that the Murderbot series are my next series, or one of the series that I'll be reading this year. And I am a completionist. I'm calling it being a completionist. That sounds better than a hoarder, at any rate. So I have ordered this book, Platform Decay, to make sure that I have the complete series. Now the Murderbot series is about a murderbot. It is a robot who is designed to murder. But he has his own ideas, and that's as much as I know, because I believe that most of these books are like novellas. They're quite short, so I do not want to know too much in case I'll go into them maybe soon. The next book is also one to complete a series, or well, to add to the first book of the series that I have on my shelves. It is The Tapestry of Fate by Shannon Chakraborty, and this is the second book in the Amina al-Sarafi series. So I believe it's called Chronicles of Amina al-Sarafi, and it is this female pirate who goes on quests and tries to find magical items. So I have the first book, and I've ordered this one to make sure that I have the second book, because you never know that, you know, books might not be sold anymore, maybe sometime, ever. And the last book I want to mention is Seek the Traitor's Son by Veronica Roth. Now Veronica Roth I know because of the Divergent series, which I read quite a few years ago, but I enjoyed them quite a lot, especially the first book. I'm not too sure about the ending. We could have a discussion on that actually in the comments if you want to. But anyway, I did like her writing style, and I know that she brought out another small series, or these 2 novellas. The first one is called Amongst Crows or something like that, because I also have them here somewhere. But anyway, I want to get this book as well, because I know she can write, and let me read you what it is about. Elegy Ann did not ask for destiny to find her. She is happy with her life as a soldier, defending her small country from the Talusar, a powerful nation who worships a deadly fever. A fever that blesses half of its victims with mysterious gifts. But then she is summoned to hear a prophecy, her and the most ruthless of Talusar generals, Rava Vidar. Brought face to face, they learn that one of them will lead their people to victory over the other, but they don't know which. And at the center of both of their fates, a man that, Elegy is told, she will fall in love with. In just one day, Elegy's old life, her job, her purpose, and her future is over. She and Rava are destined to collide, with the fate of their nations hanging in the balance, and when they do, only one will be left standing. So, you know, another like chosen one story, which we love when it's done right. So yeah. Okay, those were the books that I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are interested as well in any of these books, let me know in the comments. Maybe we could hook up for a buddy read or something. I would enjoy that. And I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye!